everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our big show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now and start placing your pre-orders for all these amazing books that are coming out in a few weeks to months. Very important you do that. We keep reminding you. We're going to have some second printings and stuff for big books that sold out this week later on the show. So make sure you stay through the entire thing so you don't miss out on that, including Dork third printing, White Sky second printing. But on top of that, this is, I'm not going to say this is the biggest one we've had so far, but this does have some of the biggest books that we have talked about this year so far. So let's get into it, starting off with our Prime Comic pre-orders, and starting off with an awesome one.
Yeah, Lobo #1. This is, well, it's not the, I won't say it's the first book in the new DC Next Level wave of books,
It's
because one of three,
Yeah.
So this is written by Scotty Young. The art is by Jorge Corona. And the main man is back. His ride is a motorcycle that moves at the speed of sound, but only if that sound is a ripping guitar solo. It says it's a gut-soaked path from DCKO to the end of the universe where Lobo is going to scratch his name and number in the source wall with a cool knife. Don't miss the mayhem, special guests, or tasty continuity. So on Wednesday, that didn't really make much sense, but we have since actually gotten to read a copy of this, and it doesn't, like, none of that fits really. So basically what happens is, there is this corporation that buys the business of bounty hunting. And so Lobo, he's, obviously he just finished a job. Somebody owes him money. And now he's trying to track down the person who's going to give him that money. And that's when he finds out, oh, this business has been bought by this giant corporation. I need to go to them and they owe me money. But then that's going to lead into some other things as well. So this is fantastic. With Jorge Corona on art, it looks as gorgeous as you think.
So dense. With art. Where everywhere you look, there's a joke or there's a weird. Like, this is your most bizarro alien type universe. Like the weirdest looking aliens. He has a bartender or whatever one time where this lady's like always like.
Oh, right.
Twisted upside down with like this really creepy grin. Dog is there, his dog that rides on the back of his motorcycle. When you see what the people who like own this big corporation look like, they are crazy looking in the best way.
The colors on this are insane. It's very colorful. Lobo acts exactly the way you think he would. There is some violence. This is, like a lot of first issues, it's a bit of a setup issue as it's established, what he's going to do and where he's going to go and that kind of thing. But I mean, this is Lobo through and through.
This is Lobo with all the fat trimmed off of it. This is the most like if you think of Lobo and the mayhem of Lobo,
the chaos,
the non-stop just. Don't turn your back on him. Don't say a cross word to him, because he is very quick to put you in your place.
It's also a great jumping on point for Lobo readers, for new Lobo readers, because it actually does kind of sort of briefly walk you through his history a little bit, references several different things from the past, gives you just enough that you need to know. But I mean, there's not a whole lot to need to know with Lobo other than he's a big bike riding space bounty hunter, right? So, but so if you've never read Lobo, don't be too scared to read this, because it's exactly. It gives you everything you need to know.
Yeah, I'd say maybe even out of all of these #1s we're going to be talking about, this may be the most new reader friendly. I heard them talk about that this is like, if you had been coming to comic book store for, like, you got into the Absolute universe with Batman or Wonder Woman or Superman or whatever, but now, those are their seconds on their third volumes. Maybe you're looking around, you're like, I want to try something new out, but you're still new to comics and the continuity and everything. These are kind of designed to be your way in to those, and there is no better one than Lobo for that.
What Scott Snyder said on a call that we were on with him is that a lot of these new books are very creator forward, meaning that a lot of these were pitches from writers and artists and things like that. It's not like handed down by editorial, but also, the big swings and the bombastic action that you're used to with the absolute books. They're applying that same ideology to the main continuity books as well. So all the craziness that you're used to seeing and all the big like eye-popping moments that you're used to seeing in the absolute books, you will get in these new books too. So it's the same kind of thing. It's not like, oh, the absolute universe, that's the extreme one, and all the other ones are the safe ones. It's not like that at all. It's
Yeah.
all big action, big swings, big stories, regardless of whether it's absolute or not.
Yep. Yeah. This one is, I think, maybe even out of all the ones on this, maybe one of the most don't miss it.
Yeah.
Because I think people are going to be talking about this.
Yeah, this is everything I wanted when they first announced this.
Yep.
So this is our A cup from Jorge Corona. That's your interior artist.
What it looks like.
that. Yeah. There's a Libra Mejo cover. There is a Kyung Eom cover. There's Dog right there. There is a Jorge Corona Next Level. It's one of those like solid color variants. There's a Libra Mejo foil variant and a blank variant that you can draw whatever craziness you want, and it would fit.
And it would be accurate. Yep. Well, next up, we've got our next, because yes, there's 3 of these new DC Next Level books all coming out on the same day, and you've got to pre-order them this week. Another one you don't want to miss is Batwoman. Now, Lobo is crazy and over the top. Batwoman may be the most mature and like rich storytelling, and almost feeling more like you're reading a Vertigo book or something like this, because this comes to you from Greg Rucka, who was a long time, like basically created Kate Kane Batwoman in her modern version, all the way back working on the weekly series 52, where she was first introduced, through a couple of different versions of the Batwoman series with like art by like J.H. Williams III and all of that. This is such a like a kind of Bat book like no other. The art in this is by Danny, who did this cover here. Another way it feels very much like an indie book or a Vertigo style book. Very artistically driven in that sense. Danny is actually from Greece. And this book is set in Greece, which is awesome. So you're getting a very like accurate representation of that. So it says daughter, sister, soldier, hero. But since she was 10 years old, Kate Kane has lived in the shadow of a prophecy and the machinations of a religion devoted to the end of all things. How do you fight the devil when the devil is real? And that's actually a line in this book that they answer this question. And how do you win? And it just goes on to say Rucka is the co-creator of modern day Batwoman. And his run alongside Daniel will redefine Batwoman and her mission for a new generation. This is another one we got to read. You read the first 2 issues. I've only read the first one. But this is it very heavily focuses on Batwoman and her sister, her twin sister, who is very messed up.
Yeah.
She's not a new character for this, but this really digs into the like, can I redeem my sister? Is she even still in there? The way that her sister speaks is very like prose. Of she kind of I remember correctly, she kind of thinks she's an Alice in Wonderland type thing. But yeah, this is really cool. This is very much your sophisticated, but not in a boring way, just in a like this is going to be a very rich story.
Yeah, this is a lot more like street level. It's not as fantastical as Lobo. And the end, obviously we won't spoil, but the ending of this one literally made me go, whoa, that's really cool. And then the end of the second issue, like my eyes got big and I was thinking, how are they going to come back from that? So it's got, each issue, very awesome endings, cliffhangers, really makes you want to read the next one. So I was pleasantly surprised with how much I enjoyed this. Not that I didn't think I wouldn't, but it exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
All 3 of these exceeded my expectations. And Firestorm that we also got to read too. So this is great. If you're a Batwoman fan, you're definitely gonna like this.
Yeah, and what I like about even these first 3 that we're talking about, they each hit a very distinct tone and feel. That doesn't feel like, oh, this is just another one of these books. They each feel like they have their lane, that they are the only ones driving in, and I love that. So if you want 3 very distinct books to kind of tickle different parts of your appetite, don't miss out on Batwoman as one of them. So this is your A cover by Danny, your interior artist. This is the one I ordered. This is the Stepan Sajic
That's
cover.
great.
Love his art, and this is awesome. We have a Art Germ cover, which is another really great one. A Jorge Corona. This is the next level, so you're going to be getting this for all the books, not just these first three, but all the next level books. There is also a foil version of the Art Germ, which I'm sure that's going to look incredible. And there is a blank sketch cover as well. But we're not done yet.
We are not done yet. So we also have Deathstroke the Terminator #1. And again, this also comes out on March 18th. All three of these do. We only got to read the first issue of this one, and it's awesome. So this is written by Tony Fleeks. The art is by Carmine Giandomenico. And Soldier
Doing
turns
the best work I've ever seen.
Oh man, yeah. So there is this the visually this book, it's on another level. Like the lines are really sharp, like really crisp, to where it almost looks like a still out of a movie.
Yeah, it almost
a live action
like a very high production anime. That's
yeah.
You know, it's thin lines, it's rich colors, it's very dynamic. Like
lots of action in this
some
one.
2-page spreads. Yeah.
In this one, it says soldier turned superhuman assassin for hire. Slade Wilson has made hundreds of enemies in his day, and now one of them is taking his world apart piece by piece. This is the hit is out on Deathstroke as he evolves into his purest form, a Terminator out for revenge and ready to kill anyone who stands in his way. So basically, what you have in this one is Deathstroke's on a job, right? And the job is to take out somebody that's essentially being held in like a witness protection, essentially. But the problem is they don't know. He's got wintergreen in his ear, the guy in the chair, and but they don't know much about the target, which makes it a little bit more difficult. And then so a lot of this is Deathstroke like mowing through guys, to try to get to this target. So, he's an assassin for hire, right? But then there's a big twist, and
I feel like the description of this, where it's like he's out for revenge, kicks off at the end of this,
right?
And you do have that moment you're like, oh, this is gonna get really bad for everyone who stands in his way,
especially like with what he says at the very very end of the issue. Again, it's the #2 issue that I think is gonna be like, oh, here, because #1 set up the story, and now, oh man, now he's mad, and now he's gonna go be out for revenge against whoever's doing all this stuff.
Yeah, and so this is, we talked about it before, even before we read it. This is supposed to be your Deathstroke that's not a redeemable.
Yeah, he's not like an anti-hero with a heart of gold.
Yeah, no, this is a Deathstroke that is the Terminator. He is. Nothing is going to stop him from getting to A to B.
Yeah, do not get in my way or I will kill you. And that we see a lot of that in this.
Yeah, no, I would say in this first issue, there is a running narration that does kind of refer to one thing that's kind of maybe one soft spot.
Right.
But even in that description, he's kind of hardening. And I just think this is going to be if you want your kind of ultimate action book, that's what this is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's going through these guys and like, oh, I better hit them with non-lethal rounds. No, he is mowing guys down left and right. It's very cinematic, big action. This blew me away as well. I do have one question, but that hopefully gets answered next issue.
In number 2,
but
sure.
Other than that, I mean, oh my gosh, this is a Deathstroke book that I've wanted as well. So definitely don't miss this one. This is great. So this is our A cover. That's Carmine Giandomenico. That's your interior artist. There's a Dan Panosian cover. There is a Kyung Eom cover. There is a Jorge Corona Next Level cover. A Dan Panosian foil variant and a blank variant.
I think Dan Panosian is doing the first, at least as far as we can see, he's doing variant covers. And I think those are the ones I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I saw the one for #2, and it's crazy.
Yeah, and then, we'll talk about it when it gets time, but we also got to read the first 3 issues of the upcoming Firestorm book, which comes out April 1st. And I think that one may have been my favorite of all of them. Like, that one was really, really good. So we'll get there in a couple weeks.
Yeah, but, we really hyped up these 3 books, but it's because now we've read them, and you can take our word on them. We're not just saying this.
Yes,
we love these.
We love them, yes.
We'll continue on with one of my favorite books. This is Invincible Universe Battle Beast number 7. This is the return of Battle Beast after the first 6 issues. It went on a how many month break did it go on?
Wasn't it like 6 months?
Might have been 6 months, yeah. But it is back, and that is because it is retaining its team of Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley on writing and art, which is, they planned it this way of like, you're going to get basically, 6 issues at a time. That way it's never delayed, it's never obstructed. Or
I'm in favor of that. If Marvel and DC wanted to do that, hey, you need a couple months break between story arcs. If that keeps the story consistent, the creative team consistent, do it. There's plenty of other things to read in that window of time. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. So Battle Beast continues his quest to find the one being who can defeat him in battle and end his life. But the Viltrumites are looming. And that is a big key part in here. We saw that at the end of issue 6 with Thrag and him calling for another Viltrumite that we are very familiar with. That does continue here. Some stuff that feels very Invincible. Invincible's not in this, but you're starting to see a lot of familiar things, but also some things with those characters that you have never seen before. It's almost like, getting some behind the scenes of like how Viltrumite they work and where they live and that kind of thing. That's really, really cool. Now, there's a lot of character development in this one as well for all of Battle Beast's kind of crew that he is, Prince Psylocke, and even the ship that is now in the suit that Prince Psylocke was in. But all of that is overshadowed by a page number 2. I've said this every time we talk about it. That is something, one, you've never seen in an Invincible book, and also that you've never seen quite this way.
Right.
It's a thing that we mentioned this before, too. We were on the retailer call with Robert Kirkman, and before he could talk about it, he had to stop laughing.
Yeah.
Because it is, it's one of those, like, even Invincible did this, where you don't know what you're going to see next.
Yeah.
And it always surprises you. This is that way.
Yeah, he said something about, I crack up every time I see this, and he's like, I was the one who wrote it, and I still laugh every time I see it.
But this is such a fun book. So glad it is continuing here. And just from what we know about what's to come in this series that they kind of gave us a heads up for, you are in for so much fun.
Not a lot of action in this issue, but they are setting up some really, really big things.
Some great character interactions and just phenomenal art. So this is your A cover for that. We also have the one that is going to sell like crazy.
Yes.
This is the Todd McFarlane cover.
I feel reasonably starting to say, if you want this cover, you're going to have to pre-order it because it's going to go in a flash. So you're definitely going to need
It's just like that Invincible Spider-Man cover. It's like, whenever you now get McFarlane really drawing anything, but especially like these characters you've never seen him do, or like with Spider-Man's case, like is synonymous with him, they sell out. This is a big deal to get McFarlane to do a cover of this magnitude. We also have, I love how this is the Ryan Ottley Invincible team up variant. So it only makes sense that Battle Beast is teaming up with Invincible. Fighting Adam Eve here, but also this is the Invincible month where we're getting all these team ups. So you are getting one here with Battle Beast teaming up with the Invincible universe. I have already pre-ordered this one as well, and we did want to mention that there are some other printings coming out that you don't want to miss out on because these are going to sell out. This is Battle Beast number 1, the 6th printing, the Ryan Ottley cover. I've already pre-ordered this. We have I forgot the artist. It doesn't have him listed on these. But we have this number 2 third printing. We have a number 3 third printing. A number 4 third printing. This is Jeff Darrow. I know that. We have a number 5 second printing. So they're continuing with these Jason Howard covers, much like they did with the Energon universe that spotlight a single character. So we've got this one, and we have this one with not the Juggernaut, the Colossus.
Colossus, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, you've got the Colossus and the Juggernaut. Or this one might be Juggernaut.
Which I always liked when those two characters in the X-Men books.
Yeah.
And I was just checking our website to make sure that they're there.
Yeah, we actually did put in a special thing today that made sure that they were there.
Okay.
So the stuff you're seeing here should all be there.
Okay.
I've already pre-ordered my covers on there.
Like, I see all these, like, number 1, 6 printing, 2/3. I see them right here on the website right now. So the Todd McFarlane cover is there. So hopefully it'll stay there.
Yeah,
do
weekend. Not miss out on pre-ordering this.
Yep. All right, so we have a Web of Venom number 1. This is from Jordan Morris. The art is by Ramon Rosales and Luke Ross. This comes out on April 8th, which is kind of in the middle of Death Spiral, I think.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out like where this fell in that. So in this, there is an even newer symbiote-wearing hero on the scene, sporting the red and blue Spidey-inspired look on the streets of Earth 616. But it's not Mary Jane, and it's not Eddie Parker, who is the like Eddie Brock, Peter Parker hybrid character on another Earth that we met in Venom number 250.
250, yeah,
in
a backup story,
maybe, or something like that.
The backup story in that.
But they say it's not that, but Marvel likes to fib sometimes. But it is someone that Peter Parker knows well, someone both he and Spider-Man have had many encounters with, someone looking to use this new web-slinging identity to make their much-deserved comeback, which that could be a clue. The saga of the new fan-favorite red and blue alien costume takes a whole new turn, kicking a classic Spider character. Really? Classic Spider character? I don't know who this is. Is that maybe like an old foe or something? He's like Rocket Racer in the symbiote baby. Kicking a classic Spider character into a whole new direction that they have no intention of giving up. So it looks like we are headed for another mystery as to who is this new Venom
I wonder
character.
if they'll give it away in the first issue, or if this is also going to be a few issues in before you learn.
What was it, like 8 issues before we learned Mary Jane was Venom? So now we have another one.
I mean, my hope is that it's Ben Reilly or Kane.
Oh, that would be cool. I love Kane.
I feel like they're kind of the most deserving of this mantle. But we'll have to wait and see. It could be someone completely, out of the left field.
Yeah, their much deserved comeback makes me think maybe it is Ben Reilly. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see when this comes out. So this is our A cover. There's an Adam Gorham homage cover. There is a Juan Ferreira foil variant, a Neto Diaz Ultimate Farewell variant.
That's what the video game Spider-Man.
No, that's Ultimate Superior Spider-Man. That's Doc Ock. Fighting Ultimate Craven.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a Peach Momoko variant, and there is a Pere Perez variant and a Scotty Young variant. Which give me that.
Oh no, it's Wreck Rap.
I hope not, man. I really hope it's not.
It looks like Wreck Rap. Yeah. But we'll see. Well, next up, we have an interesting one that I don't think Marvel has ever done something like this before. This is Fantastic Four First Foes number 1. Now, we got the Fantastic Four, the little prequel comic before leading into the movie, and they've done stuff like that, but I don't know if there's ever been a MCU comic after the movie came out.
An MCU-specific comic, yeah. So maybe like a one-shot here and there or something, but...
Maybe, but that's still not in a long time if they've ever done it. Yeah. So this is going to be by Dan Slott and Ryan North. So 2 of your Fantastic Four writers, 2 of the most previous Fantastic Four writers, with Mark Buckingham and Phil Noto on art. And Mark Buckingham did the art on the previous, the prequel. So this is also a prequel to the movie. But it's the first in a series of one-shots that seem like they're going to be spotlighting some of the Fantastic Four's villains that they dealt with before the events of the movie. So, and the first one is going to be the Mad Thinker, who is says determined to get his proper due by turning the City of Tomorrow against its heroic patrons. Which I'm just excited. Maybe I'm guessing maybe get a red ghost.
That would be cool.
Because of the opening thing. The one we got before was Mole Man.
Yeah. So
I'm excited to see kind of the interpretations of these characters in comic form. And I wouldn't be against more of things like this.
Sure.
Especially if you could bring Spider-Man into this.
Right.
But,
oh, man. That's just into this world?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That would be great.
But we've got a couple of covers. We got our A cover here by, I believe that's Phil Noto, We have a Kari Andrews variant with is that like
Wait, I think that's Phil Noda. I was trying. I can't see the.
I'm not sure.
It doesn't look much like Kari Andrews.
No, that looks like Titanium Man or whatever. The
Yeah, kind of. Oh, is that Super Adaptoid?
That might be Super
Yeah.
Adaptoid. And then
There's
this is Phil
yeah.
Noto.
Okay, we have Dead Teenagers #1. This is a new 5-issue miniseries from Oni. This is written by Jude Ellison and S. Doyle. The art is by Caitlin Yarsky. This sounds cool and horrifying. So, ever since 1997, there have been 5 friends who have been trapped in the ultimate nightmare as a mysterious entity forces them to relive their first prom night over and over again, and then re-kills them in new and increasingly insane ways each time. They dress up, they party, they make out, but no matter what they try to change, they always die until now. Something is about to break the cycle that has kept Alicia, JT, Ryder, Brandy, and their group of friends locked in a bizarre purgatory beyond all understanding. But what they find on the other side will be the most disturbing revelation of all. So it sounds like a very demented, like Groundhog Day kind of thing, but centered around like Groundhog Day meets Prom Night, which Prom Night was a scary movie on its own. So yeah, this sounds really interesting. This is our A cover. There's a Kayla Valerio cover and a Caitlin Yarsky cover. So that's your interior artist. Nice homage to Pretty Woman. Oh, look at the
tentacle.
Yeah.
I think that was actually on the original Pretty Woman cover.
Right, yeah.
Well, next up, we have Wolverine Weapons of Armageddon #2. #1 came out this week. It was awesome. And now we're slowly learning more about what the Armageddon event is going to be about. And I can see a little bit of some clues in here. So, in this one, dark shared secrets linking Wolverine, the relentless Nuke, and the mysterious Dave Colton surface, throwing Logan's hunt for a missing super soldier into total disarray. Can Logan survive when the ghosts of his past are armed and ready for war? Get ready for a brutal chapter you won't forget. I'm really interested how this is going to lead into that. We've seen a cover that has Wolverine on it and some other familiar faces. But yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a lot with the what's the corporation called?
Prime Warrior.
Prime Warrior.
Yeah. See, I think it's like this and the Captain America books are taking on 2 different fronts. Like Captain America is dealing with Red Hulk and what's going on in Latveria and all that stuff, which is a big part of the Armageddon event. And then this is dealing with the Prime Warrior Corporation and their quest to create new superhumans using the origin boxes. So that's like the other leg of what will then make up the Armageddon event, or what we now know is called Avengers Armageddon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see now they're completely, like, right now the stories are separate, but they will eventually converge into each other.
So if you're excited about that, I definitely think this is where you need to be reading this, and like you said, Captain America, getting ready for this big event this summer. So this is your A cover. We have this Dave Raposa cover with which I'm expecting some big stuff from Dave Colton.
Yeah, that's Dave Colton.
And then this is the one I pre-ordered. This is the Sanford Green cover.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, we have End of Life #2. #1 came out this week.
Yep.
This is the second new book in this new wave of Vertigo books. And it says that, okay, so maybe hiding out in this podunk town with his sick father, estranged ex, and nauseatingly pleasant townfolk was a bad idea. But Eddie has a plan to make things right. And Eddie is your character on the cover there. If he can just give back what he stole from the Raven, who is the head of the Menagerie, which is the group of assassins that Eddie works for, then no harm, no foul, right? His accomplices, the Murder Brothers, will help him out, right? Wrong. Very, very wrong. So we got a chance to read this issue a couple weeks ago, and this is really cool too. So I loved the first issue, and this helps to flesh out the story a bit more, because Eddie, he's a big town assassin, and he's in this little, like, small town with, like, like a farmer's market and bake sales and all that kind of stuff. And he has an estranged relationship with his father, which is equal parts sad and funny. He's trying to hide out while this giant organization of assassins is coming to try to find him. But there's also, it seems like there's like a smaller criminal organization in this, like, localized to this town that he's also going to get mixed up with. So I love this issue and the first one, so I highly recommend picking this up. This is our A cover. There's a Tyler Boss cover and a Jeff Spokes cover.
Yeah, so far this new era Vertigo
Yeah.
is great.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we have Ultimate Endgame number 3. So another big thing at Marvel right now. We are wrapping up the Ultimate Universe. Still have yet to fully understand what that means. And
Or fully understand why.
yeah, all the above.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of information about this issue. I feel like most of the series they're kind of keeping under wraps, issue by issue. It says, inside the Maker City, a desperate group of heroes battle the terrifying children of tomorrow and discover some surprising allies. We kind of saw all of that in the first issue.
Yeah.
While outside the city, the Ultimates and other heroes of the Ultimate Universe must deal with the unspeakable power that has just been unleashed. With shocking twists, painful deaths, and massive reveals, this epic is heating up fast.
Yeah, and there was in the second issue, there was a little something that got out, which is bad, could be bad for the world. Yeah, so I'm interested in that part.
Yeah, I feel like the first 2 issues were a little, I wouldn't say slow, but it still felt kind of confined.
Yeah.
But I believe after the big thing that happened at the end of number 2, it's going to really, now we know what our mission is going forward. Plus, we've got this fantastic Mark Brooks A cover, which these are some characters we haven't really seen in this yet.
Right.
But still, we've got our A cover here. We have a David Marquez cover that's really cool. I hope we do see Wolverine in this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I really enjoyed his series and I would like to see him involved in this. We have a Jonas Scharf Black Panther variant. We have a Mike Del Mundo cover. And we have a Stephanie Hans cover.
Next up is a new book from Boom called Neighborhood Watch. This is the first of, I don't know how many issues this is going to be. It's written by Sarah Gailey and the art is by Haining. It's about this girl on the cover here. Her name's Jill Hewitt. She is a community leader. She is the wife of a respected police officer, but she has turned up with a gunshot wound in a tunnel that connects the Willhaven gated community with the neighboring Open Arms Collective. And now the VP of the HOA and the kitchen steward of the collective have stumbled upon her body at the exact same time, instantly casting blame across the divide. So they're basically pointing at each other and saying, you did this. So they're forced into an uneasy alliance to discover the truth. They'll have to work together to uncover the secrets both communities hold to figure out who's responsible for this crime and what they could possibly gain from it. And what was Jill doing in that tunnel in the first place? So this sounds like a really cool murder mystery between 2 different I don't want to say factions, but 2 different maybe well-to-do neighborhoods or something like that. So yeah, so this sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. This is our A cover. There is a Vilches variant. There is a glow-in-the-dark flashlight variant from Jenny Frison.
Ooh.
And a full virgin version of the A cover from Haining. That's your interior artist.
I really like that art, so I'm looking forward to this. Next up, very excited about this. This is New Titans issue 33. Yep. So much like Emperor Aquaman that we talked about last week, this is Titans. It is not restarting, it is not renumbering, but it is getting kind of a facelift. It's getting a title augmentation.
Right.
Instead of Titans, it is now New Titans. But with this one, we do have a new creative team on the book with Tate Bromble and Sammy Bassery. And you can see some new members are coming on here. Now, the solicitation doesn't say too much about these new members, so I'm still, very interested to see how they're brought in. But Stephanie Brown's on there, and that's all I really care about. It says, who are the new Titans? After the KO events and the Titans are reunited back at Titans Tower, it seems a little too good to be true. Maybe because it is, are these Titans who they claim to be? And if they can't trust each other, can they even trust themselves? So it sounds like maybe it's not that easy coming back from all of this. Maybe some things are a little off.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means these new characters, or maybe these new characters have to figure out what's going on with the other Titans that are there. I don't know, but
well, so the DC solicitations for May came out today, and
it's about Cyborg. I think
there is something weird with Cyborg. I don't know if it happens in this issue, but by the time we get to May, there'll be something weird with Cyborg they have to try to figure out.
Yeah, I think it sounds great. So this does sound like a really good jumping on point,
Hmm.
especially with the new creative team on there and kind of a shift in the status quo. I love the cover. I love the new logo and everything.
Are the other Titans going to stay? Like Nightwing, Don and Troy Raven, are they still going to be on the team, or are they leaving the team
I
and
don't
these
know.
guys are coming in?
I
I
mean,
don't
it kind
know.
of looks like they're, almost like your giant size X-Men, like they're in the back, like the
Yeah,
previous team
yeah.
and the new team coming in. But, Tara, Yara Flor, who we haven't seen a lot of in a while, Stephanie Brown, we haven't seen of a
Which
lot.
is it's cool that Stephanie Brown's there. I like her very well, but it would have been cool to have Cassandra Cain, Batgirl, on here because of how awesome she and John Kent were as a duo in the Kids Are All Fight special. I just want more of that.
I think Tate Brombell is writing the Batgirl series. They've got their
Oh yeah, that's right.
Sandra Kane there. They're like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
want to get the other
Uh huh.
Batgirl in
Uh
here.
huh. Fair.
But we've got our A cover here. We have a Stephen Byrne cover. We've got an Ethan Young cover. We have a Leslie Lyrics Lee Women's History Month variant. Nice Raven. We've got a symbol variant and a Sammy Bassery corner box spot foil variant.
Yeah.
So that's your interior artist, which
Yeah.
looks great. It's an artist I was already a fan of.
Next up, we have the Punisher #2. Number one comes out next week. We'll be talking about that on Monday. So this is the new ongoing Punisher series that kind of picks up from the end of the Punisher Red Band 5-issue miniseries that wrapped up at the end of January. So in this one, Frank Castle's most notorious foe, Jigsaw, is back. And this time he's not launching all-out assaults or wars in the street. Instead, he is taking a more surgical approach to dismantling the Punisher, targeting his body, mind, and soul with a game of death designed to spill innocent blood and to push Frank Castle to his absolute limit. Kind of sounds a little bit like what Deathstroke the Terminator is about.
Yeah.
Like there's a villain that's like surgically taking apart the hero little bits at a time instead of just like an all-out gunfight or whatever. So I'm very excited for this. I enjoyed the Red Band series. I'm excited for the ongoing series to start next week, and this is the second issue of that.
We'll be talking about it on Monday.
On Monday for sure. So this is our A cover. There's a Chad Harden April Fool's Day variant. There's a Demalia Promenick Marvel Comics Presents variant. He's reading Daredevil #1. I'm jealous. I want to read that.
He looks confused by it.
Yeah. Why am I not in here? There is a Fabrizio De Tomaso Doom homage variant. Oh, he's got the Doom on his shirt. That's cool.
Yeah.
There is a NetEase Games Marvel Rivals variant, which he looks a little bit more like Punisher 2099.
I think that's what the skin in the game is, $20.99.
And a Simone DeMeo cover, which looks great.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited for a very classic Punisher.
Mhm.
And the red band's cool, but I like that this is not polybagged.
Right.
It feels a little bit more accessible
Yep,
than being like it's behind a paywall almost with that.
Classic outfit, classic logo. It's Frank Castle. I'm very excited for this.
Yep. Well, next up we have a new one from Ignition Press, and this is interesting because this is our first Ignition Press that is not an original property.
Right.
This is actually a kind of a tie-in a little bit. This is Tyler Rake, an Extraction story, and this is a prequel to the Extraction series of movies that are on Netflix. This is by Andy Parks and the artist by Ronan Cliquette. It says, so since it's a prequel, mercenary in hiding, Tyler Rake thought he was starting over. Working as a bouncer in one of San Paulo's most popular nightclubs, Tyler's world is about to be upended when a tussle with connected drug dealers goes horribly wrong, forcing him to take on a job he never wanted in order to stay hidden. So if you're a fan of those movies, or if you've never watched them, this is a prequel, so I'm sure you'll be able to jump right into.
If you've
this.
never watched them, you need to. Chris Hemsworth, there's lots of awesome action. I can't remember the director's name, but the director is an action like choreographer. So that it's like there's a heavy emphasis on action. They do some crazy stuff. There's a couple of especially the second one I remember. There's a oneer, which is like one like single continuous shot, which lasts for like 11 minutes, which is bonkers. Like they are very, very exciting movies.
Yeah, and this is cool that Ignition is kind of showing its different sides. It can do something like this now. Once again, as we always say, keep an eye out on Ignition Press because they're doing awesome stuff. This is your A cover by Declan Shalvey, and there is a Marco Santucci variant.
Looks very, very much like Chris Hemsworth right there. Yeah.
He kind of looks like Chuckles from G.I. Joe.
I love Chuckles. Get him in the Energon universe.
Yep.
All right, so we have Superman Unlimited number 11. And if you notice the trade dress at the top, this is, post DCKO. And a lot of the DC books post DCKO have this trade dress with like new, they're starting new story arcs. In this one, what's worse than a fifth dimensional imp? A fourth dimensional demon. John Kent faces off against his greatest archenemy, a terrifying time bending foe who's attacking him years before they've ever even met. It says, witness the final moments of John Kent's Superman, and also in this issue, Superboy? I don't know. So I guess it's not the final moments of John Kent because he is over in the Titans book.
Unless it's in the future.
Well, maybe it is. But we also have young John Kent. And whoever that guy is in the background, maybe is that the foe? Is that the guy that John Kent's fighting?
Mentioned his name. I forgot what it was. It's
Is it Nighthawk or something?
No,
like
it's
that?
like Metropolis Man or Tomorrow Man or something.
Oh, okay.
It's something like it takes the Kryptonian or something like that. It takes a word from Superman, makes it a name. But yeah, this mysterious masked figure. Initially you think, oh, that's maybe like a John Kent that's older.
Right.
But I don't think it's going to be that straightforward.
And I believe this is that character's first appearance. I don't think they haven't popped up anywhere else yet, and I don't think they'll pop up before this. So, new first appearance of a new character alert right here. But I can't wait to see what this is all about. Like, I love young John
Kent is best John Kent.
Yeah, so. That new character looks cool. So lots of questions around this one that we don't have the answers to. But I can't wait to check it out. So that's our Dan Mora A cover. There's a Bruno Redondo cover with that new character. There's a Rakta Lin cover, a Lucio Perillo cover. Come on, that looks awesome. A symbol variant with Skylar Patridge corner box spot foil variant with that guy, and an Aiko Reign of the Superboys connecting variant, which we've seen some other of these in past shows.
Yeah, and there's a little bit of, this is called Reign of the Superboys instead of the 90s Reign of the Superman. Yeah. And they each kind of have this is a little bit like Eradicator.
Right.
So we'll have to see kind of how they all line up a little bit with those, but I'm really interested in seeing what is all this leading to, because each of the super books has something that's, a little bit a new character that's a Superboy, but not your traditional one. So I'm excited to see what all those are, and are they going to be brought together at some point?
Yeah,
and I don't know. Great time to be a Superman fan. Well, next up we have more Essential Comics, starting off with Fantastic Four issue 9. You don't get a better Marvel book than this right now. This book is amazing. This last issue, it was one of the, if not the best book of the week. And it continues here. So while the Fantastic Four are dealing with malice on the far reaches of the galaxy, it says...
Is it malice, though?
I know. It's not the same malice as the malice from whatever, the 80s.
Right. She didn't even call... Yeah, from the John Byrne run. She didn't even call herself Malice at the end of last issue. She called herself the Invincible Woman. Yeah. So, I don't know about all this malice stuff. I think they're doing that because of Marvel Rivals, I guess. I don't know, but...
Maybe. I also... maybe it's something that's in... That look is somewhere embedded in Sue Storm's mind, where she'll take on this form, wherever she appears. But the Fantastic Four are dealing with this malice character, the Invincible Woman, in the far reaches of space. Earth is under threat from another evil, but there may be only one hope that can save them or doom them all. So I like how it is doing a little bit of that. This story arc has been going back and forth between Earth and what's going on out there. And both have been equally great. And I'm interested to see kind of the hero. I think maybe we're setting up the Future Foundation that we know is coming.
Yeah, we know we're getting that.
Maybe the heroes that are there are kind of dealing with this and getting their own identity there. But such a great book. If you're not reading this one, you're missing out on one of the best books currently coming out. We've got our A cover here. We have a Joe Jusko cover. We have a Swaby Invincible Woman cover. I love that because it's just creepy enough.
It is creepy. I know the neck, the head tilt is
creepy.
It's
a little smile, and that. And we also have this great Mike Allred Doom homage cover.
All right, well, we have Iron Man number 3. Number 2 comes out next week. We'll talk about it on Monday. Number 1 obviously has already come out, and we loved it. In this one, during an epic battle with MODOK, Iron Man learns the truth about AIM and Madame Mask, leaving him with more questions than answers. But before he can investigate, he has a first date with his new lady love to deal with. Meanwhile, the new Citizen V is watching and comes to Tony with a warning. But who is under the mask? So lots of questions there. We've already seen into. They've already the solicitations have come out all the way through. I think issue number 6, which has Iron Man like fighting a big evil looking Iron Man that was built by the new Tony Stark, whoever that may turn out to be. We know that AIM was looking for that character in the first issue. This is the Iron Man I've wanted for years. This feels very classic. Iron Man versus AIM. Lots of tech and armor involved. I cannot wait to read number 2 next week. So that's our A cover. There's a Carmen Carnero variant. There is a Jose Maria Casanova's MODOK variant. A Mateo Lawley April Fool's Day
that was
variant.
Also great.
And a Scotty Young 4-part connecting variant.
Next up, we've got a lot of continuations of books that just started. So this is Generation X 23, number 2, not Generation X issue 232. And in this one, the facility that created X-23 and her clones didn't stop with those experiments. Meet the new generation of X-mutants led by, this feels like the most 90s name ever, X-Infinity.
Well, okay.
It's like, I made Weapon X. Oh, I made X-23. I made X-Infinity. Yeah. And then X is going to be Infinity times
plus 1 or something.
But I like the first issue of this. It was actually a pretty quick read. Yeah. But a lot of fun, a lot of great action, great art. So I'm going to definitely check out number 2. This is your A cover. We have a Maria Wolf variant. Love that with all those wolves. There's a Peach Momoko cover. And a Simone DeMeo Marvel Monster cover. These might go on long enough until they reach October.
Maybe. All right, well, we have Dungons of Doom number 3. This is unfortunately the final issue of this short miniseries. The doors of Doom's dungeon have been thrown open, and his darkest secrets are unleashed. As Red Hulk surviving soldiers are infected by the mutant horror known as Whisper, will Red Hulk be forced to kill them before they condemn the entire planet? So that's the American military soldiers that are down there. Meanwhile, the Hammer of Treachery and the Eye of Khonshu, which the Hydra has the hammer and the Latvian military has the Eye of Khonshu. So both of those things empower and punish all who try to wield them. And what will happen when an Asgardian cursed Hydra agent faces Wakandan agent Umbra, who is empowered with the mysterious skull-shaped herb? Many will die in this shocking conclusion, and the few who survive will not be the same. So this has been bonkers crazy in the best way possible. It feels almost like just like a horror book.
Yeah.
This could have been a House of Mystery or something like that,
like
just
Marvel's equivalent of like a House of Secrets, House of Mystery.
House of Secret, that because it's like what secrets lie in Doom's dungeon,
I think this needs to keep going on. I like the idea of they're stuck down there and they're using whatever they find to fight each other, but there's also other horrors down there.
Yeah, I love this, and I'm sad to see it end so quickly. This is our A cover, and there's a Carlos Magno variant with Red Hulk.
Next up, we have Knull, issue number 3. Number 2 came out this week. It was great, and it had a super cool ending. Yeah. In this one, Knull's found the treasure he's been seeking, the All-Light Spear. And that was awesome to see him, a character of nothingness and darkness, have to contend with walking in the sun and all that. But someone stands in his way. And if you read it and you see this cover, you know who is standing in his way. And I can't wait to see that showdown, hopefully in the next issue. So if you're reading it, Knull number 3. We also got a lot of information about Queen in Black.
Oh, yeah.
Which comes out in...
it's this summer.
Yeah, it's in this previews book.
So May, I guess, right?
Yeah, so this previews book has the Queen in Black.
It starts in May, I guess.
Yeah. So, we are getting very close to, this leading into that. We've seen some preview art of Knull in a very different look for him. That's going to lead into that. So I think this is pretty important to that book that's going to be going on. So we've got our A cover right here. We've got a David Parator Doom homage cover. And we have a Jeff Shaw Marvel Monster variant.
So this is Psylocke Ninja number 3. Number 2 comes out next week. We'll talk about it on Monday. Betsy Braddock has teamed up with Wolverine and Jubilee in Madripoor. How will Betsy piece together her old memories while navigating the new body that she has? And can she figure it all out before a vengeful Elektra catches up to her? So this is set back when, Psylocke got her new, the new body, the Quantum and Betsy Braddock merged, or however that happened. But I love this. That Psylocke and Wolverine and Jubilee and Madripoor. That's like classic X-Men right there. So this is our A cover, and then we have the Akka variant. There is a In-Hyuk Lee versus Elektra variant and a Taryn Clark variant.
And continuing on that same line, Inglorious X-Force number 3 is on here, but number 2 comes out next week, so we'll be talking about that on Monday. And this one, a mission to a secret safe house reveals a startling seed of doubt. Is Boom Boom really one of Cable's most trusted allies, or maybe a turncoat? We'll have to see. Boom Boom was very excited to join this group. Maybe too excited.
I was going to say, maybe a little too excited.
So we'll find out. But I'm looking forward to number 2. I thought number 1 was really good. So this is your A cover. There is a Sandoval Doom homage cover. I want to see Cable throw down with Doom. That'd be pretty great. And then we also have this really great Mike Hawthorne cover.
I love that Archangel on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Rogue number 3. Number 2 comes out next week. We'll talk about it on Monday.
Broken record.
Yeah. What will Constrictor be able to tell Rogue about Sabretooth and what happened at Project Pegasus? So that's what those are the answers she's looking for that we saw in issue number 1. And I don't know if she'll get some answers next week, but we'll know better on Monday. So this is our A cover. There's an Alessandro Capuccio Marvel Monster variant and a Derek Chu variant.
More Savage Land
Rogue. Yep.
And next up, we have Predator Bloodshed number 2. Number 1 comes out next week. I can't wait to check that out. Yeah. About this kind of underground tournament of fighters, very like Streets of Rage or Mortal Kombat or Def Jam Fight for New York. But where the Predator finds himself in this fight, and the fighting doesn't stop. He's just a new competitor in this. We'll know more about it when we read it next week. But it just, the underground tournament continues in this. Some of the fighters go into hiding, and some, step up to fight Predator. So this sounds really cool.
Whoever it was that left the comment in our video when we talked about number 1, whoever said, they said, "Oh, very cool, Predator in the Kumite." That was hilarious. I laughed at that a long time.
So we've got our A cover here. We've got a Sorrentino variant as well.
All right, so we have Groo, the Prophecy number 1. This is the first of a new 4-issue miniseries, obviously from Sergio Aragonés and Mark Evanier, with art by Sergio Aragonés.
And inked by Stan Sakai, which is kind of how Stan Sakai got his start, was inking Groo.
Oh, his name's on the cover?
Yeah, and he's always, like, whenever there's a new Groo thing, Stan Sakai works on it.
Very nice.
Is like, that's like, Shakespeare writing the foreword to your book or something.
Oh, right.
It's hey, you're bigger than this.
Right. So in this one, Groo and Raffaello travel far over the land and across an ocean to get away from those who fear Groo and his infamous bad luck. However, the hungry pair of adventurers seem to be running toward catastrophe. The priestess, Sibylla, has visions of terror after terror arriving to her village, with only Groo also arriving to seemingly save her townspeople. So, Groo fans, I know you're out there. Here is a new 4-issue miniseries for you, and this is the only cover from Sergio Aragonés.
Next up, we have the Muppets Noir, issue number 2. Number 1 came out this week. It was a lot of fun, and the mystery deepens in this one as Kermit, or Flip Minnow, the detective, meets his list of suspects. And we saw a few of them in there in the first one, but it looks like he's going to be going in and questioning all of them to find out what happened to the missing meringue. There is a variant cover for this, but it was still not ready, but it's by Jay Lee.
Okay.
And I really want to see what a Jay Lee Kermit looks like. But just for now, we've got the A cover here.
This sounds great. This is Rafael Garcia, Henchman #1. I don't remember the publisher of this one, but this is from Murrieta and David Schrader, and the art is by Ben Herrera. What if life in a supervillain organization was less like a James Bond movie and more like working at Walmart corporate? Rafael Garcia, Henchman, brings the old familiar tropes of a dark workplace comedy by way of a brand new cinematic superhero universe. It says it's an action comedy that mixes the daily grind of The Office with the slacker absurdity of Stripes. If the general in charge was more like Lex Luthor, so yeah, this is the story that I've always wanted. It's like a just a henchman in a big like Hydra type organization, but it's like silly. It's like Office silly. Like,
Yeah.
why is that not a TV
Yeah, I
show
was
or
going to say,
something?
why hasn't Marvel made an AIM TV show or a
Yeah,
Hydra TV show that is just that?
right.
You know,
Yeah,
Madame Mask comes in and they all stand up straight and she leaves and they all just go
yeah.
back to playing ping pong or something.
Yeah, they're having trouble breathing the masks or something like that. Like that sounds great. So this is our Kit Wallace A cover, and there's an Orlando Aracena cover also.
Well, next up we have The Thing on the Doorstep, issue #2. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries, and in this one, Edward has started his study at the Miskatonic University, but a meeting with a woman named Asenath will start his slow descent into madness. And we saw a little bit of that at the end of the first issue. I really enjoyed the first one, and here is your second one. This is your A cover. And there's an Abigail Jill Harding cover, who is a good
Yeah.
friend.
All right, so this is Thundercats X Silverhawks Road to War. This is a 40-page one-shot from Ed Brisson, and the art is by Elton Tomasi and Alice Leclerc. The solicitation for this is about this long, so I'll try to get through it. So, but it's a 40-page one-shot. It's 3 different tales that set the stage for a cataclysmic crossover event to come between the Silverhawks and Thundercats.
It's called Thunderhawks, which is just a great name.
Wait, huh?
Yeah, the when it kicks off into the actual thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're called Thunderhawks.
That's pretty cool. So the 3 tales, there's one set in the past. Cloudus' heir to the throne of Thundera, which is the young cub Lion-O, struggles to understand his destined place at the head of the kingdom. How can he protect an entire realm when he can barely lift a sword? And with the destruction of their planet looming, will the young prince be able to shoulder the burden of leadership? So that's back when they were on Thundera before they get to Third Earth. That's one of the stories. There's a story set in the present with mob boss Monstar gone. Criminals from the furthest reaches of the galaxy are moving to fill the power vacuum left in his wake, and it's up to the Silverhawks to stop them. But the resources are stretched thin. The team has to expand, and when Quicksilver and new recruit Chromium take on an intergalactic biker gang, the veteran and the rookie will face a real trial by fire. So that's your second story. The third one is set in the future for the Thundercats trapped in the far future of Thundercats Lost in Time, which is a different Thundercat series. The quest to find a way back to the past is proving to be an exercise in frustration. A restless Nico begins pulling away from her teammates to wage a one-woman war against the Darkbirds, whose secrets may hold the key to the cat's survival, past, present, and future. So that's the story right there. Now, something else about this is there will also be blind bags for this as well. Special premium mystery blind bags that contain 3 limited editions of the one shot selected randomly from a range of covers exclusive to this offering, including virgin variants, colored blanks, and more. So that's a lot of information, but yeah, I mean, Thundercats and Silverhawks. That's my childhood right
There's
there.
some really cool covers coming up for the actual series that just got revealed.
Holy cow! Yeah,
that are like the Thundercats characters, but they have like Silverhawks armor.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, all we need now after this is Thundercats, Silverhawks, Tiger Sharks.
Right? Maybe throw some He-Man in there. Can we do
Yeah.
some He-Man? Well, that's Dark Horse. Maybe
Yeah.
they can. I don't know. Let's throw some He-Man in there, and let's bring in all of them, GI Joe and everybody. So there's some blind bags to this one too. So this is the A cover. There's a Megan Hetrick cover and a Fabio Failla variant.
And there's a lot more covers. It's Dynamite.
That's homage to the Uncanny X-Men.
Oh yeah.
With Captain America, Wolverine, and Black Widow.
Yeah.
I just realized that. It doesn't even say it's an homage variant.
You just have to know.
You have to know.
Well, next up we have continuing stories. Starting with Absolute Flash number 13, and this one, this is actually the B cover. The A cover wasn't ready.
Oh.
Wally tries to pick up the pieces of his life after the battle at Fort Fox. Adrift and unsure what to do, the young speedster looks for a way forward. So it sounds like we're kind of setting off on the next story. This is your A cover, I mean the B cover, and this is your C cover by De Tomaso.
This is Deadly Hands of Kunlun #2. #1 came out this week. In this one, the conquest of the Seven Cities rages as Kunlun appears over New York City. Can Iron Fist, Elektra, and White Fox hold the line as a certain Asgardian tilts the scales, and I'm assuming that's Loki. A portal from Atalan delivers a shocking strike, and this guest stars Karnak and Arrow. So Karnak of the Inhumans, and then Arrow as well. So yeah, things are getting crazy with this one. This is our A cover, and there's a Leo Chiola Daredevil variant.
Very cool. Well, next up we have Side Dimensional Rivals, issue number
3.
This has been really fun because it's just been a great showcase of different artists. This one is going to have part of it by Mike Del Mundo, and the other one, it didn't mention this solicitation, but at the end of the previous issue, it mentioned Jim Mahfood doing some art as well. So if you've been enjoying this and kind of the cool spotlight on artists, check this one out. This is your A cover by Peach Momoko, and there is a Mike Del Mundo variant.
This is Marvel Knights Punisher #4.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute since #3 came out, so there's been a big delay. This is the final issue. The Punisher is out for revenge, and not even Everett K. Ross can stop him. So, which is weird because the Marvel Knights
World to Come,
did that finish? I don't think so. I think there's one issue left in that one too. So yeah, there's been some delays with these Marvel Knights titles. This is our A cover, and there's a John Jang cover.
Well, next up, I'm very excited about this. G.I. Joe issue 20. And all you need to know about this one, Optimus and Duke meet for the first time. What does that mean for the future of the Energon universe? I mean, this is the two powerhouses coming face to face. And if you read the previous issue, Hound tried to explain to him that not all Cybertronians are like Starscream, which is who Duke thinks they all are. I can't imagine Duke meeting Optimus. I can't imagine anyone meeting Optimus and not just being charmed to death by him. So we'll have to see. This is your A cover. There is a Kasara variant that's very cool.
Which I believe that one
connecting.
Yeah, it connects to the Kasara variant from the issue that came out this week. That's the one I got, and it has the Joes pointing that way. Yeah. And
this one's awesome. This is the Tom Riley Invincible team up variant, and Robert Kirkman talked a little bit about this. That this is the Serpent
Society, or the Snake guys, basically.
Yeah. It's hard to remember because there's Serpent Society in Marvel.
Yeah.
This is the them, who he said were always just based on Cobra.
Right.
And now he finally gets to show Cobra fighting them. I can never remember their name because I always want to say Serpent Society.
Right.
Next up, we have a cover gallery, some cool covers.
Starting with Uncanny X-Men #25. This is the Lelio Bonascuro variant, and there's a Pete Woods Doom homage variant.
Gambit fighting Doom. Well, next up, we have some for Batman Superman World's Finest. This is the cover B by Nathan Zerdy, which if you read this story, that date did not go well.
Right. I like Alfred in the background of that one too.
Yeah. Serving. We also have a Carl Kerschel variant. Great. It's very great.
Yeah.
We have an Adrian Gutierrez cover. And a Dan Mora corner box spot foil variant. Doesn't get more iconic than that.
Yep. This is Catwoman #85. This is the Frank Cho variant. There's a Mahmoud Asrar variant, a Leslie Larix Lee Women's History Month variant, and a Jorge Jimenez corner box spot foil variant.
Yeah, congratulations to Catwoman 85.
Yep.
You don't see those kind of numbers in modern comics very often.
Unless it's like Batman or Superman. You don't even see it with
Savage Dragon.
Yeah, or Savage Dragon or Spawn.
Yeah. But definitely for your big two to allow books to get this high up.
Yep.
I remember McFarlane always talking about like that just shows like, the respect and the
it shows the legacy, the history.
Legacy, the security of like this book's been going for 85 issues. Apparently, it's, if I jump onto it, it's not ending the next issue. Well, next up, we have a few of the Invincible crossover covers, starting off with Darkness, #4. This is by Ed Benez, and you got Omni-Man there fighting against Darkness. You also have one for Exquisite Corpses, #11. This is the Michael Walsh Invincible Team Up variant. And we also have, I love this one. This is the Geiger number 22, cover D, Gary Frank Invincible Team Up with Thrag.
We also have Darkness number 4.
Nope.
This is Wrestle Heist number 4 of 5. This is the Kyle Starks Invincible Team Up variant. We have Ghost Pepper number 9, the Ludo Lullaby Invincible Team Up variant. And Walking Dead Deluxe number 133, the David Finch and Dave McCaig Invincible Team Up variant.
I love this because it's almost the same cover as, I forgot, like number 12 or something like that of Invincible. That is the Reaniman issue.
Yeah.
But you've got the contrast of the two styles is great. We also have this Green Lantern number 33, but this is Legacy number 600. So they're doing a special glow-in-the-dark cover for this. So like a lot, we'll be talking about this issue on a future show. But you've got
is like the regular A cover not on FOC?
No.
Oh, I thought it was.
Just this one that you can go ahead and get your pre-orders in early because they need a little extra time to do this with that new look for Kyle.
Yep.
And this is a Gilla March cover.
This is Nightwing number 136. This is the Jeff Spokes cover. We have a Jay Lee cover and a Jorge Jimenez corner box foil variant. Spot foil variant.
And we got a couple of really nice Wonder Woman covers. This is the Dan Mora cover. We also have a Matea de Luis cover, which is your other artist on Absolute Wonder Woman.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. And we have a Leslie Lyrics Lee Women's History Month variant and a Daniel Samper corner box spot foil variant. And we got a bookshelf to talk about.
This is the X-Men Age of Revelation, Book of Revelation trade paperback. So this is going to be $34.99, and it collects some of the books that were part of the Age of Revelation story. So this one has Book of Revelation 1 through 3, Long Shots 1 through 3, Radioactive Spider-Man 1 through 3, Rogue Storm 1 through 3, Expatriate X-Men 1 through 3, and The Last Wolverine 1 through 3. We also have the X-Men Age of Revelation Overture trade paperback, also $34.99. This contains X-Men Age of Revelation number 0, which was the one that they just shipped to retailers like unannounced, like we couldn't order those ones. So that's where like everything gets started right there. Age of Revelation Overture, which that was the final issue, right? Wasn't it? That's the
opening. That
was the beginning. That was like the alpha issue. Amazing X-Men 1 through 3, Binary 1 through 3, Cloaker Dagger 1 through 3, Iron and Frost 1 through 3, and Laura Kinney Sabretooth 1 through 3.
It's a little bit of a crime that this has the beginning but not the end of it.
Yeah. Well, and we'll talk about that. So we also have the X-Men Age of Revelation, World of Revelation trade paperback, also $34.99. Collecting World of Revelation, that was a one-shot. Unbreakable X-Men 1 through 3, Undeadpool, Omega Kids, X-Vengers, Sinister Six, and the X-Men Age of Revelation finale. So, in our opinion, like Age of Revelation was pretty good, but the only thing that you really needed to read were Amazing X-Men, Last Wolverine, and World of Revelation. Book of Revelation, yeah. So, and then of course, obviously the opening issues like that number 0 issue and the Overture. Unfortunately, there's not one that collects all of those ones. So you do need, I mean, if you want to read Age of Revelation, even just having those few that you really need to read, those are spread across all 3 of these.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bummer because, I mean, a lot of the tie-ins were good. Like Cloaker Dagger was really good and Binary was pretty good, but they didn't really like matter much to the main story.
If you're trying to get out of this as like financially responsible as you can't really get 100% of the story that way.
Right. I mean, what I recommend is maybe getting the see, Last Wolverine, that's the only one out of the Book of Revelation trade, I think.
Also, the Book of Revelation 1 through 3 is,
Oh, yeah, that one too, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what you could do is get the Book of Revelation trade and the Overture trade, and then try to get just the single issue of the finale, because that was just a one-shot. You could. That's to me, that's probably the least cost way you could get the most crucial points of this story.
Yeah.
So a bit of a bummer for them to not put the biggest parts in one book. Obviously they did it so you'd buy all three of them, but
maybe there'll be an omnibus at some point.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. But we also got It's Jeff. Jeff the Landshark, Friends and Rivals. Wanted to put this on here because we get so many people coming in who are not like, you know, weekly comic readers, but they love Jeff. And the Jeff miniseries or one-shots are so sporadic. I'm really glad they're doing this. That collects the 1 through 5 of the Kelly Thompson and Toki Takaro series. I think this is going to be kind of an evergreen one for our shelves as people love Jeff and want more Jeff. It's going to be a nice collection, and you can get it for $15.99.
And then we have an awesome one. This is Green Arrow Year 1, the DC Compact Comic Edition. So this is going to be $9.99, just like all of them are. And this is the entire 5-issue, I believe, Green Arrow Year 1 story from Andy Diggle and Jock. And this is the definitive Green Arrow origin. You know, this whole thing is about him on the island, you know, crashing his boat, winding up on the island, and then sort of learning how to be an archer and survive and that kind of thing. The entire thing is on that island, and it's really, he runs afoul of some like drug smugglers or something. It's really, really good. And now you can get it for $10. Like this is a great compact comic to have.
Mm-hmm. And next up we got new printings, and these are going to be really important. Starting off with Dork #1, third printing. The second printing is already sold out, and it's not even out yet,
Nice.
but it is sold out at the distributor level. This may be your next and best chance to get Dork #1 with this third printing, but act fast because we've just seen a wave of huge sellouts in especially Image #1s. So this was the one that kind of kicked it off. Pick up Dork #1 because we cannot guarantee you a second printing copy. Pre-order the third printing copy to get it. We also have White Sky #1, second printing. Another day one sellout for White Sky. We talked about in the show. We both really liked it. Looking forward to issue #2 and finding out more about this world.
Yeah.
But this was another one that day one we were completely sold out of it. Just big surprise. Not a ton of pre-orders. We still ordered a good amount of it. But that day one leading into the release day was people going on our website ordering this one. So if you want to read White Sky, your next best chance to read it is right here by pre-ordering it. Same for Death Fight Forever, another one we sold out on day one of, and we ordered quite a bit of this because I love Andrew McLean. This was another really fun one that sold out, so pre-order this one if you want to check out this book. And lastly, I just got to talk about it, Invincible Universe Capes #1, second printing. This is just a great series. This solicitation for #7 came out and revealed the big thing about #7. Yeah. So you'll definitely, if you're not reading Capes, want to jump onto it because with #7, you've got some big stuff coming.
We also have the second printing of Cyclops #1, which was a pretty good start to a new miniseries. There is the second printing of Mark Spector Moon Knight.
Another one we sold out of day one.
Yeah, deservedly so. It's a great book. And then the second printing of Ultimate Endgame #2.
And we also have Bleeding Hearts #1, which I'm not sure if we're sold out of yet, but we have sold a lot of because we both really like this.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So this is the Bleeding Hearts #1, second print, cover by Stephen Morian, your interior artist. And then we have a cover B, the Nick Dragotta cardstock variant that is a black and white version of one of the previous covers.
We're sold out of the A cover anyway.
So that means we're probably sold out of all of them.
Yep. And we have some facsimiles. This is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns #2 facsimile edition. But we also have a Jock variant cover for that as well.
Just like the #1 for this comes out, the facsimile comes out this coming week, and it's got a really great Jim Lee cover where he's like sitting in like the Batmobile.
Yeah. That's
very
right.
Cool.
And then there's Wonder Woman #1, the original Wonder Woman #1 facsimile edition coming out too.
And that is it for comics from the future. Like we said, this is a big one, and it is so important now that you place your pre-orders. We're not just saying that. I hate telling people that we've sold out of stuff, but we never know how much to order. We order, what we think we're going to need, but those people who pre-order are guaranteed either way, whether we sell out of it or not, you get your copy of it. And whether you shop in the store or you live somewhere else and we mail it to you, either way, you can pre-order it. It's free to pre-order. It's free to have an account with us. You don't pay till the book comes in and we invoice you. It's super, super easy, but I get so tired of telling people, sorry, we already sold out of that. But as a reminder to pre-order, that makes my job easier. It makes all of our lives easier and makes your life easier. So again, head on over to infinityflux.net. Your pre-orders are due Sunday by 6 o'clock, so you don't miss out on any of these. Stay tuned for a show coming up on Monday. We'll be going over some really awesome books coming out, some big ones.
Yeah, we got Punisher #1. We've got a bunch of #2s for those X-Men books, like Psylocke and Rogue and X-Force. There's like
Absolute Martian Manhunter.
Oh, Absolute Wonder Woman. That one's gonna be really cool.
There are big fight one.
Yeah, there's 3 more DCKO tie-ins, the last of the tie-ins, because DCKO ends the week after that on March 4th.
Yep.
Lots of big stuff next week. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Be here on Monday for our early comic review video. And until next time, see ya.